Good Monday evening, South Carolina weather watchers. Hopefully, everyone has had a fantastic Monday so far. I am your meteorologist, Jess Peterson, and let's go on and talk about the weather for your Monday evening going into your future. Before we go on and get started, we always go on and talk about two things. Number one, what's the main thing we're going to be talking about tonight, and that's obviously going to be flash flooding that will occur tomorrow. We also are going to be talking about the brief cool down again. We'll go more into depth with the temperatures and all that stuff, and then we'll also talk about the heat wave that is again expected as we go into this weekend, and then also severe weather returns again for tomorrow. But we'll get to that once we get there. If you have not hit the like button or the subscribe button yet, make sure you go and do so. We're at 540 subscribers. We are 10 away from 550, and we are 60 away from our main goal of 600 subscribers. Again, that's 540, 60 more until we get there. So let's go on now and talk with the recorded audience for the people who can unfortunately not make it here tonight, 9 p.m. Good Monday evening, South Carolina weather watchers. Hopefully, everyone has had a fantastic Monday. I am your meteorologist, Peterson. Let's go on and talk about the weather for your Monday evening going into your future. Now, looking at the radar right now, we do have some rainfall going on inside of over here near Travelers Rest and 6 Mile as well. Also over here inside of Van Wyck, Pageland, going into Hartsville, down here towards Timmonsville and Lydia as well. We also do have some rainfall going on in Johnsonville as well as Hemingway, and also up here just to the west of Andrews as well. If you even look down here towards like Hampton, South Carolina, going over towards Gillisonville, and then also Beaufort, South Carolina as well, we all have this rainfall over here throughout the state right now. So there is rainfall, but what's going on throughout the entire U.S.? We do have some rainfall right now going on in Indiana as well as Kentucky, Tennessee, Georgia, Florida, North Carolina, Virginia. All these regions have rainfall. And if you go on over here towards the central U.S., Nebraska, going into Kansas, going into Oklahoma and Texas, also inside the Four Corners region as well for Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona. Rainfall also going on in Washington as well as Montana and South Dakota as well. I don't know if I've said South Dakota already, but South Dakota. And then rainfall also going on in Nevada and California, at least in those northern portions. As we go into cloud cover, we do have some cloud cover right now. That goes for, again, the low country of South Carolina, the southern Midlands, going into the PD region, the upstate, as well as all included in there as well. And again, these areas, for sure, they have the potential, that cloud cover will have the potential to increase overnight, and you can see it right here. Once we go on and push this forward right here, that cloud cover pretty much takes up a good chunk. This is 7 o'clock in the morning, still a good chunk of cloud cover. If we go on and push this forward even more, it loosens up a lot once we get to like that afternoon period, like you can see here. But then once you get more into the evening and the nighttime hours, you can see that cloud cover may start to build right back up again. So for right now, cloud cover is looking to be a lot more on the more heavier side. May die down a little bit like tomorrow afternoon, but we'll ramp right back up going into like tomorrow evening, tomorrow night. But we'll continue to monitor that. As we go on towards our current temperatures, 84 in Columbia as well as 82 in Orangeburg, 80 in Summerville as well as 82 in Sumter, 82 inside of Hartsville as well as 85 in Florence, 85 in Myrtle Beach as well as Murrells Inlet, 84 in Conway as well as 84 in Spartanburg, 81 in Greenville, 83 in Clemson as well as Anderson, 84 in Aiken as well as 82 over near Orangeburg, 80 in Beaufort, and 85 near Hilton Head Island. Or 84 near Beaufort, 86 near Hilton Head Island. As you go into low temperatures for tonight, 75 in Greenville, 74 in Spartanburg, as well as 74 in Rock Hill, 74 in Winsboro, 77 in Columbia, 77 in Orangeburg, 77 also inside of Moncks Corner, 77 in Georgetown, 79 in Charleston and Hilton Head Island, 78 in Myrtle Beach, as well as 75 in Aiken right now. As we go into our precipitation for tonight, a good amount of precipitation. And this is where our flash flooding will come from. This goes from 8 p.m. tonight to 8 p.m. tomorrow night. 100th of an inch to a 10th of an inch. That goes for like Spartanburg going into Rock Hill, going into Greenville. Anderson's included in there as well, going into Winsboro and Rock Hill. Dillon's included, Florence is included, and then maybe even a 10th of an inch to a quarter of an inch for places like Sumter, going into Kingstree, going into Barnwell, quarter of an inch to a half an inch for like Orangeburg, Walterboro, Moncks Corner, 10th of an inch to a quarter of an inch for Charleston, half an inch to an inch for like Columbia, Georgetown, Myrtle Beach. And some areas might potentially get 2 to 3 inches of rainfall as we go through tonight and tomorrow. And that majority will either happen most likely in the Low Country or the Grand Strand region of South Carolina. As we go into the SPC outlook, this was the last thing that was updated for us. Now, it is still there because they have not updated it yet still. So for now, this marginal risk of severe weather is still here. That is a damaging wind threat or a damaging wind risk. For right now, there is no more severe weather, but we did have a severe thunderstorm. I know in Colleton County we had a severe thunderstorm warning over there. In Beaufort County as well, and I think that the remnants of that thunderstorm is going through Beaufort right now. In fact, if I go in and check the lightning, there is lightning actually going on with that area right now over near Beaufort that we were just talking about earlier. So it's still a thunderstorm. It is still a thunderstorm right now, but it's not severe or anything like that. As we go on and continue through to tomorrow, Tuesday, July the 22nd, severe weather continues as we have another marginal risk or level 1 out of 5 for severe weather. That is for Aiken, going into Orangeburg, going into the entire low country of South Carolina, going into Williamsburg and Georgetown counties as well. That is again for damaging winds and the potential for those gusty winds as well, but isolated damaging winds being the main threat. And then day 3, Wednesday, again, another thunderstorm risk and also thunderstorm risk also for the rest of the state as well for Tuesday. But just a thunderstorm risk as well for Wednesday as well. That goes all the way from Columbia, Florence, Aiken, entire low country, all of the Grand Strand and all that kind of stuff, coastal regions. And that thunderstorm risk is there for Wednesday. So that's it for our 3-day mark. Let's go and look at the excessive rainfall. So we're going to start off here. This goes all the way through tonight. And you can see that we had a minor risk of some flooding tonight, and some isolated flash flooding is in the question as we go into tonight and then tomorrow morning by 9 a.m. As these showers and storms kind of linger, and they will dissipate obviously as the night progresses. We'll talk about the models as well, but they will linger. They will continue going on, but then they will dissipate as the night progresses. So pretty normal. But the day that I'm really looking at is tomorrow. This is Tuesday, 9 a.m. going into Wednesday, 9 a.m. You can see that we do have a slight risk of excessive rainfall. Again, that goes for Columbia, going into Augusta, Sumter, Florence, going to Orangeburg, Summerville, Charleston, Hilton and Island, Conway, Myrtle Beach. So pretty much most of the Midlands, at least the southern part, the entire low country, all the Grand Strand and the eastern PD is included inside of a slight risk of excessive rainfall. That's some scattered flash flooding. So if you're in the yellow, definitely expect some scattered flash flooding as it is possible. And then if you're in the green, minor flooding or some isolated flash flooding as well. That goes for like the entire upstate, northern Midlands, western PD, northern PD as well. And then once you get into day 3, this is Wednesday going into Thursday. Again, just another risk for some excessive rainfall. Again, that goes for like the low country of South Carolina and then Williamsburg and Georgetown counties as you go into Wednesday. And then Thursday and Friday, it finally calms down. As you go on to the models now, time is in the top right corner of your screen. Make sure you go on and take a look at that. As we push this forward, you can see that convection will continue even once we get to around 12 a.m. There's a little pressure that you can see as it moves off the coastal regions by around like midnight or so. And there will still be some leftover convection as you go all the way through to around 3 a.m. But once you continue through 5 a.m., kind of just looks like this low pressure just all over the place at this point. But by 4 a.m., that's when most of the showers will be completely done and will be completely dry. But we'll start right back over by time maybe as early as 8 to 9 a.m. As you can see, showers popping off. Nothing big, but it is there and it is modeled Once we get all the way to 1 p.m., you can still see that shower activity going on. But once we get to 2 p.m., you can see a huge jump. You're seeing a huge amount of thunderstorm activity over there in the like Georgetown, Horry County region by around 2 p.m. And that will continue to push down through the low country, maybe by around 3 to 4, 5 p.m. as well. And look at all this moisture that you're looking at. This is what we are looking at for our excessive rainfall and why we have that scattered risk of flash flooding for tomorrow, just because all of that convection that you can see, especially in the low country where we will have the most amount of rainfall, will be trending super slowly. It won't be moving fast. Again, that's mainly all summer thunderstorm. That's why when you look in the backyard, it's not raining, but when you look in the front yard, it is raining. These showers are moving pretty slow, and pretty much from what you can see is that this will continue to just move very, very slow. And then all the way by around like 7 to 8, maybe even 9 p.m., you're not only starting to see that in the low country, but look in the upstate as well. If you can look up there, you're starting to see that shower activity and thunderstorm activity up there as well, going on to around 7, 8, 9 p.m. as well. And then by 12 o'clock in the morning, there will still be some shower activity still going on. And, obviously Midlands will be impacted over there in like the PD will be impacted as well. But for the most part, low country will probably be the most impacted area for tomorrow. And then as you continue through all the way, we're still not going to be done with this rainfall, maybe even by 4 a.m. on July 23rd. And you're just seeing a lot of convection near the coastal regions by the time you get to around like 1 to 2 p.m. again, going into on July 23rd. But for the most part, it's mainly off the coast, most likely. So in terms of our long-term future, so we're going to start off here at the 48-hour mark. This is just where we ended off at. You can see that rainfall will continue to go on, but I want you to pay attention for when we get to the 25th. So if you go on and push this forward, 25th, 26th, 27th, look at this. It's a lot drier, and this was forecasted that Friday to Sunday, so pretty much the weekend time frame, is actually going to be a lot drier than what we're currently seeing, especially for tomorrow as well. Like compared this right here on July 22nd to this right here. You can just see the difference. It's a lot drier as we go into this weekend. So a dry weekend is in the forecast. Obviously, there will still be showers. There will still be thunderstorms. I'm not saying that everyone's going to be completely dry, but you definitely will see an increase of rainfall throughout an average of South Carolina as we move through this weekend. Now, continuing through all the way to July 27th, going all the way through to the 28th as well, and through the 29th, you're starting to see, again, some more active activity. After we get through that weekend, we start to receive some more active conditions as well as we start off the week next week, and that will continue through all the way into August as well. And then by the time we get to around August the 3rd, we really can't go any further than this. This is as far as we can go, but for right now, it's looking like that the beginning of August could be pretty active with a lot of rainfall, flooding, severe weather, all the stuff that we've been seeing just during summer regularly. That could be a potential issue once we get into August as well. So for now, we're just going to continue to monitor that. So what's going on inside of the tropics? So the tropics right now is only this little area right here that we are watching for. You can see right here, disturbance 1, 10% chance of cyclone formation. This is Invest 94L. Shower and thunderstorm activity remains disorganized associated with a weak area of low pressure located about 800 miles east-southeast of the Lesser Antilles. Environmental conditions are forecast to become increasingly unfavorable for development during the next few days, while the wave moves west at around 15 miles per hour. So only a 10% risk for the next 48 hours, and then also a 10% risk during the next 7 days as well. So for now, it's looking like that some people are saying that it could potentially turn into like a weak tropical depression. Some people think a weak tropical storm. There's some people that think that, but then there's also some people as well that think it would just be just a little disturbance, but it won't be anything as well. So really, again, for right now, this has no threat right now to South Carolina. Just at all. The chance of it hitting South Carolina is pretty much close to zero at this point. But it's kind of interesting to see what the models have pointed out. This is Invest 94. You can see right here, most of the models have it going again near the Lesser Antilles and then down just south of like Cuba, Haiti, and like Puerto Rico, for example. And it continues to move that way again, not anywhere near South Carolina, not even near Florida, for example, not even near those areas right now, according to what the models are saying. And that was the actual hurricane models. This right here is the GFS, is the one that we look at when we talk about our future. Most of it, again, saying the same thing, maybe a little bit of a northern more track, but again, still no threat, and same thing for the GEPS as well. So for right now, again, like I said, no threat for South Carolina with this one. But look at the intensity guidance. There are some models that think that this will turn into a tropical storm as it gets outside of that unfavorable condition mark. And so as we move through all the way through like the next 100 to 200 hours, some models are thinking that it could actually get out of those unfavorable conditions and actually ramp up a lot more and potentially turn into a tropical storm by that time frame. So will that happen? We don't know, again, over 100 hours out. But for now, what I will say is that this might not be the last we see of Invest 94L for now, if the models are still saying that a tropical depression or a tropical storm is possible. So that's it for our model intensity guidance. Let's go on now, since we're done with that, talk about the crazy score. We're at a 42. Yes, we are at a 42 for tonight. No, I'm not going live tonight, but we are inside the moderate category. Obviously, with that rainfall and that thunderstorm activity drizzling down, it's no longer really going to be that much of a threat anymore. So that's it for the crazy score. We're at a 42. Let's go on now and talk with the audience. If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Let's see what the audience has to say for tonight. Mr. Chris says, hey there, GP. Sorry, that was the wrong one. Good evening, everyone from Moncks Corner. Hope y'all had a great day. Hey there, JP. Still cannot believe it's still 89 here in Moncks Corner with the index of 95. In terms of it being almost 89, I don't think, because I'm in obviously just around like 40 minutes to an hour down from Moncks Corner, and so for now, I mean, where I am, it's around like 80, 81 degrees. So in terms of it being 89, I don't know if it's that high, but the heat index up to 95, maybe close to 95 for that heat index value. Let's go on and actually let me go on and see real quick what it is at my house right now. It is 82, but it feels like 90. So a lot closer with the heat index values, but the temperature being 89, I don't know if that's quite correct. My Nana says, hello, Jay. Overall, my day was good. Soaked up lots of sun and the nice breeze. That is fantastic to hear as well. Glad that you got some sun today. Mr. Anthony says, good evening, weatherman. Good evening to you. Trill says, hello, how was your day? I did not go outside today. The weekend heat was enough for me. Yeah, and I can understand that. Some people, spend like a day outside and they take a rest day or something like that. And then, if they have to do outside work or if they just want to go out and exercise or anything like that. So some people just don't. I understand. My day was great, though. Thank you so much for asking. What's the weather in Winston-Salem, North Carolina? I'm going to assume you mean just for right now. I'll go over that in just a second. Let me read that comment real quick. Who says, good evening. My guess of it was beautiful today. Extremely nice weather. I did a good bit of yard work. How's your day? My day was great. Thank you so much for asking as well. Glad that you got some yard work done. Hopefully it was done early and not during the middle of the day while it was 1,000 degrees outside. But that's it for the audience tonight. I don't see anything else. Let me go on real quick because we had a request to talk about Winston-Salem for now. In Winston-Salem right now, it's dry right now. And if, I'll go on and just talk about like the future of it real quick. If you go on and push this forward right here, you can see that there will still be like some leftover shower activity, but it pretty much is not, it's not really much at all. I mean, if it does rain, it's just going to be like a little drizzle, nothing at all. And then once you continue through, though, obviously, you have this rainfall up here, and obviously you have that excessive rainfall as well. I can show you it right here for tomorrow. Or actually, no, that's actually just to your west, so I do apologize for that. But, so no, there actually is no excessive rainfall. So pretty much, rainfall activity, pretty much the condition that we're seeing down here inside of South Carolina, is what you're most likely going to expect in terms of that scattered thunderstorm activity, scattered shower activity. But that's for Winston-Salem there. So hopefully that is it. If you have anything else you want me to add to it, I can. But before we get back to that, if we have to get back to that, let's go on and talk about the 4 locations that are outside of South Carolina. That is San Antonio, Texas, Raleigh, North Carolina, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and then Duncan, Oklahoma. If you have no idea why we talk about those 4 locations, it's because we have people from those areas that tune in close to nightly. And so that is why we go on and do these forecasts. So first off, starting off with San Antonio first, like we always do. Low temperatures tonight, 77. High temperatures tomorrow at 98. And the low temperatures tomorrow night at 76. There is no precipitation expected at all tonight. And tomorrow, there is no precipitation expected there either. Now, for severe weather, I'm pretty sure you can most likely guess, but there is no severe weather that is expected as you move through. Not only today, but then also tomorrow and the day after. For now, in terms for excessive rainfall, no excessive rainfall is expected either. Going into Raleigh, low temperatures tonight 74, high temperatures tomorrow at 88, and low temperatures tomorrow at 69. There is a chance of thunderstorms tonight. No precipitation is expected at all tomorrow. No severe weather is expected at all tomorrow through the next couple of days as well. And no excessive rainfall is either. So no severe weather, no excessive rainfall for Raleigh either. Philadelphia with low temperatures tonight 66, high temperatures tomorrow at 83, and low temperatures tomorrow night at 66. No precipitation expected tonight or tomorrow. There is no excessive rainfall that is expected and no severe weather that is expected. And then Duncan, Oklahoma being the last one. Low temperatures tonight 75, high temperatures tomorrow 98, and low temperatures tomorrow night at 75. No severe weather is expected and no excessive rainfall is expected. So for right now, all locations actually are severe weather and excessive rainfall free. Yes, there is a chance for some precipitation, but it's not doesn't have anything to do with any sort of precipitation for any sort of severe weather or excessive rainfall for now. Obviously tomorrow that can change, but for now it's looking like that it could actually just be pretty calm. But that's pretty much going to wrap that up. Trail says I appreciate it. That's no problem at all. So if you have not hit the like button or the subscribe button yet, make sure you're going to do so. We're at 540 subscribers. We're trying to get to 600. We are 10 away. We've been stuck at 540 for a couple of days now. So make sure that you do go on and hit the like button, subscribe button as well. And also one thing that I have been noticing as well is that sometimes the count can actually go down. Now, obviously, I say that you can unsubscribe if you want to. But make sure that once you hit the subscribe button once that you don't hit it again. The like button is the only one where you have to do that, but the subscribe button, I think that some may have been on accident, some may have just been on purpose, and they just don't really like the channel anymore. But obviously, I'm not going to sit there and beg or anything like that. So if you, again, please could go on and hit the subscribe button only once. You don't only have to do that one time. And then for the like button, again, that is every video, every live stream, anything like that you watch of me. And that's going to wrap this up for our Monday evening. Hopefully everyone enjoyed. And I will be back tomorrow morning with your Tuesday morning forecast update. Everyone have a fantastic rest of your Monday.